At the beginning, we'd like to hear from our distinguished speakers, and without further ado, I'd like to invite on the stage Mrs. Christina Verchere, CEO of OMV Petrom, to hear your insights and plans and ideas and thoughts for the year ahead. Thank you, Christina, for being with us again, and looking forward to hearing you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. Am I on? I'm on. Good evening, everyone. It is always a pleasure to come here every year. Such a nice gathering of our energy industry. And I will always remember saying this to Gabby, the first one after COVID. Everybody was so excited to see each other, so pleased. And it just reminded us just how important our energy community is here in Romania. I thought maybe I would say a few words with regards to maybe volatility, unpredictability, complexity, these words we are using all the time right now. But really talk about it in the context of how we see the energy transition, because there are statements out there that it's not happening anymore, different views like that. And I think for us, we clearly see that the energy transition trajectory is set. But the debate has always been and will continue to be what is the right pace for that transition. In 2030, when we set out our strategy of 11 billion euros of investment, we had 35% going into low and zero carbon and 65% into fossil. So even in our low and zero carbon, clearly we still had quite a strong fossil base. However, obviously a large component of that fossil base is going into natural gas development. So again, a lower carbon footprint even as we continue in the fossil fuel development. However, in our 35%, last year we also made some changes, and this I think is an example of how you have to adapt in the energy transition overall. So what did we do? Last year we actually said we would go bigger in renewable power. Before we had said we were doing solar, we added wind to the portfolio as well. We have been building a portfolio of projects, and we said we would have a portfolio of projects from 1 gigawatt, and we increased that to 2.5 gigawatts. So bigger and faster in renewable power. At the same time, we are big into the commitment into biofuels. We have announced one of the largest investments in HVO and SAF in the Petrobrazi refinery, 750 million euros, in addition with green hydrogen. But at the same time, we repaced that. Before we said we'd be at 350,000 tons per annum by the end of the decade, and we changed that to 250,000 tons per annum. Again, just an example of repacing in the context of the energy transition. And I think this is what is going to happen. Different technologies, different economics will drive the pace. Different markets that we're in will drive the pace. And we need to be able to enable it. But like all companies, watch that we don't go too far, too fast, if we have assets that are not going to be used. And I think this will be part of the challenge for all of us in the energy transition. But if I leave you with one thing from Petrom's perspective, we're very clear about the energy transition and we will adapt pace accordingly. The second part, obviously, of our portfolio is Neptune Deep. And I will always take an opportunity to talk about Neptune Deep, I'll be really honest. It's a fantastic project. So we actually made the FID announcement in almost a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. And a huge amount of effort has been underway with the construction of the jacket, the construction of the top side of the platform, the work with regards to vessels, the work with regards to the onshore metering station, and of course, probably the most visible one for all of us is the rig. The rig has now left Constanța. It is on its way, it's on location, and it's getting ready to start drilling. And so obviously for all of us who in the oil and gas industry know, particularly from E&P, when you start drilling, it is the most exciting thing. So we are really close to start the drilling activity. And this keeps us very much on track for first gas in 2027, which we see as a game changer for us as a company with our partner Romgaz as well. But really, it is a game changer for Romania. And I think for many reasons. One, obviously for the product itself and what it does for energy security for us here in Romania, but also as our geography around as well. But for me, I think it's also about doing something of this scale in Romania. and proving that something of this scale can be done in Romania. And I can tell you, we have so much support from all the companies we are working with, all the Romanian authorities. Everybody is focused on this project. And it always reminds me, it can happen, it will happen, and it is going to happen. So it's a huge achievement, I think, for all of us here in Romania overall. So I think the world is complicated right now. We might actually feel it sometimes for those of us when we wake up in the morning and you read the news and you're like, okay, what am I going to find in the morning? Yeah? As an industry, I believe we have seen much complexity. We have seen much volatility. So I think we have an inherent resilience in our industry to see our way through this. So I will close with, you can see the glass is half empty or half full. For us in OMV Petrom today, it is half full. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Christina Verchere. Great.